So we are newsing. Newsy. News! It's time for some news. Okay. Let's do the news. News.
What?
News. Do the news. Do the news.
Hello and welcome to BuzzTV's The Daily News. Welcome. Welcome. Daily News. Daily News.
Hello and welcome to 3D Buzz's The Daily News for Monday, August 27th of 2007. Brought to you as always by Side Effect Software. I'm Terry, and we're going to jump right into some entertainment news. Luke's lightsaber heads into space. The original prop from Luke Skywalker's lightsaber of the first Star Wars movie will be sent into space aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery in October to commemorate the film franchise's 30th anniversary. According to a joint announcement from Lucasfilm, the Space Center, and Southwest Airlines, an actor dressed as Chewbacca will hand the lightsaber over to representatives from NASA Space Center during a ceremony at Oakland International Airport. Upon landing in Houston, the lightsaber will be escorted by costume stormtroopers alongside R2-D2 and other Star Wars characters to a caravan of Hummers with a police escort. It will be transported for safekeeping to NASA Space Center Houston, where it will be secured inside the vault once used to store samples from the moon until it is ready for its trip into space. Now, that doesn't say whether or not that thing is actually going to be shot into space, let loose in space, or whatever you want to call it. But I'm thinking they should probably bring it back because they would get a nice $250,000, but I'd have to say $3-4 million for that sucker. Give that money to charity. It's a suggestion. It's probably not going to happen, though. Keanu Reeves in The Day the Earth That Stood Still. 20th Century Fox has set Keanu Reeves to star The Day the Earth Stood Still. It's reimagining of the 1951 Robert Wise directed sci-fi classic movie. Reeves committed over the weekend to play Klaatu, a humanoid alien who arrives on Earth accompanied by an indestructible, heavily armed robot and a warning to the world leaders that their continued aggression will lead to annihilation by species watching from afar. Which is brings up another point that The Day the Earth Stood Still has the most memorized line in movie history. I think it's Klaatu Brata Nikto, which is also famous in Army of Darkness. Dark Horse develops War Monkeys. Dark Horse is developing a sci-fi horror comedy movie titled War Monkeys to be written by Cleve Nettles, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Based on a story by producer Chris Patton, the movie follows a janitor who, during a Christmas holiday, gets trapped in an underground research facility with military-trained rhesus monkeys, which, by the way, just automatically makes this the coolest movie that has ever existed. I'm still writing to the networks to try and get my made-for-TV reality movie thing, whatever you want to call it. It's just going to be about 200 monkeys on an island with weapons, and it's just going to be awesome. It'll be the highest rated show ever made. It'll be fantastic. I call it Monkey Explosion. It's great. Anyway, moving on to some gaming news. Metal Slug 3 is coming to Xbox Live. Nobody knows when it's going to be released, but SNK finally announced that Metal Slug 3 will hit Xbox Live Arcade in the relative future. SNK is apparently showing the game next month's Tokyo Game Show. They will also be showing off Fatal Fury Special at the event as well. Ever since the announcement of Metal Slug on Xbox Live over a year ago, fans have always wondered which installment of the franchise they were actually going to release. Is it too little too late, though? Because there are about, 800 compilations of the Metal Slug series on every other system. So we'll have to wait and see. 360 is one step closer to home brewers. From Kotaku.com, they state that the 360 modding community are now one big step closer to getting homebrew running on the console. It all centers around one of 360's kernels, which is apparently vulnerable to flashing, after which homebrew apps are not too far away. The only catch is that you won't be able to take your console online, but chances are that if you're doing all this to your Xbox anyway, you're either doing it on a different Xbox you use to get online, or you just don't care about Xbox Live in the first place. Warhawk downloadable via PSN tonight, so finally some good news for the PlayStation 3 owners. Sure, you could pick up Warhawk tomorrow in stores, but if you want to save on the gas, the title will be available for download via the PlayStation Store tonight at 12:01 a.m. Going to the traditional route isn't a bad option, though, as the retail version is only $20 more, but you get more video content and a Bluetooth headset. Moving on to tech news, Airlines Body bids farewell to paper tickets. The global airlines body, IATA, said on Monday it had placed its last order for paper tickets, clearing the way for air travel to be based entirely on electronic ticketing from June 1st of 2008. In just 278 more days, the paper ticket will become a collector's item, said Giovanni Bazzagani, the Director General of the International Air Transport Association. The changeover from paper would not only cut airline costs by $9 for every traveler, but will also mean the industry, criticized by environmentalists for its part in global warming, would save 50 150,000 mature trees every year. Now, it should be noted that he did not say whether or not that $9 is going to be passed on to you, the passenger. He just stated that it would save them $9 for every passenger or every ticket they sold. So don't get your hopes up that the tickets are going to be, discounted by $9. Torrent Spy shuts down in the U.S. TorrentSpy.com, the BitTorrent tracking site facing a copyright lawsuit from one motion picture industry, is shutting down access to users in the United States, the company said in a statement late Sunday night. The barring of U.S. residents by Torrent Spy comes as a U.S. district judge is expected to rule any day on whether Torrent Spy must turn over its user information to the Motion Picture Association of America. The group filed a civil complaint against the company last year accusing Torrent Spy of violating copyright laws. Although Torrent Spy doesn't host any pirated movies on its site, the search engine helps users find unauthorized copies. The MPAA alleged in a suit. The Torrent Spy has argued that the company has many legitimate uses and is protected under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. The DMCA provides safe harbor for internet service providers and does not hold them responsible for unlawful acts committed by their users. Acer sparked computer wars with a gateway deal. Acer, the world's fourth largest PC supplier, said today it will pay $710 million to acquire U.S. computer retailer Gateway, which is now in talks to buy Dutch-based rival Packard Bell. Both deals would be a double blow to the Chinese computer group Lenovo, currently the world's third largest computer provider. The Acer deal will usurp Lenovo for third place, with Gateway's intention to exercise its option over Packard Bell would thwart Lenovo's current negotiations to buy the group. All of MP3 set to stage a comeback. All of MP3 has announced plans to resume a service, but the date and details are still up in the air. After disappearing in early July, the original All of MP3 site was apparently replaced by mp3sparks.com, which was a cosmetic makeover of the old site and allowed customers to use their same login credentials. The original All of MP3 site has now returned, though it provides only little except for blog entries at the moment. Oh, this is both good and bad for Sony, so see if you can stay with me here. Rotten Blu-ray discs have been spotted. A post and 3 photographs of a rotten Blu-ray disc in AVS forum have spurred several users to post their own Blu-ray rotting stories. For those of you that don't know, whenever a DVD or a CD or something rots, it's a little black spot that's on the CD. It doesn't really do much, but in time it starts growing and growing to the point where the disc is unreadable. It seems that the problem is confined to a limited number of discs of specific movies. The movie most commonly affected by the defect is The Prestige from Buena Vista Home Video. According to the forum users, the rot forms in less than a month and renders the disc unreadable. It is visible to the naked eye and appears to be as a pattern of dots on the reflective surface of the disc. Sony is quick to admit the problem, though, so this is the good part. A Sony Pictures Blu-ray disc engineer replied in the thread, "I did some checking in this issue and found out that it is an isolated case with a limited number of discs affected from one title. Apparently, there was some sort of impurity that was mixed in with the batch of material used for the production run, and it was simply a fluke. Your Blu-ray library is safe." So in other words, it's not widespread. It was just that one batch of discs. He also goes on to say, users who were affected by the flaw said that they could receive postage-paid envelopes from Buena Vista Home Entertainment to return their discs. So Sony is actually doing something right. So that's kind of impressive. That's it for the news today, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
You want to see it? I don't know if you want to see it. You might not. I mean, it is only the most amazing. It's good stuff. True. We can show it. Do you want to see it?
So we are newsing. Newsy. News! It's time for some news. Okay. Let's do the news. News.
What?
News. Do the news. Do the news.
Hello and welcome to BuzzTV's The Daily News. Welcome. Welcome. Daily News. Daily News.
Hello and welcome to 3D Buzz's The Daily News for Monday, August 27th of 2007. Brought to you as always by Side Effects Software. I'm Terry, and we're going to jump right into some entertainment news. Luke's lightsaber heads into space. The original prop from Luke Skywalker's lightsaber of the first Star Wars movie will be sent into space aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery in October to commemorate the film franchise's 30th anniversary. According to a joint announcement from Lucasfilm, the Space Center, and Southwest Airlines, an actor dressed as Chewbacca will hand the lightsaber over to representatives from NASA Space Center during a ceremony at Oakland International Airport. Upon landing in Houston, the lightsaber will be escorted by costume stormtroopers alongside R2-D2 and other Star Wars characters to a caravan of Hummers with a police